This is Paul. Now, back to the default judgment. Yeah. hmm And the forgeries. Yeah. And the violating of due process. Mm. Now, we can't have forgeries of any of the court's employees. No. And this idea, yeah, of using the district courts, yes. See, I have a lot of questions that I'd like to ask district court judges. The court finds based upon the court record. Uh, Now, the court record had jurisdiction over the parties, the minors, and the subject matter. Yeah. But Zachary's not a minor, he's an adult. He became an adult in January. Yeah. Mm. And there's some reason why I can't contact him. Yes. Because Brent Baisden issued this or somebody else. Oh. And then Bishop's going to be 18 next year. Yep. In January. And I have to wait until he's 18 and Zachary's 19, or exactly when is it? Are you going to enforce the laws? Oh. Deacon's birthday's next month. Yep. And he's going to be 16. He's going to get a driver's license. Hush. He could emancipate himself. Yeah. In fact, I think for the last 3 years, yeah, I mentioned that I was protecting the for-cause action rights of Zachary, Bishop, and Deacon at the age of 14. Yeah. Then there's Maximilian. He's going to be 14 in December right now. See, this court has committed a very grievous fraud. Yeah. And when I think about my injunction relief, yes, in the federal district courts, I have a lot of questions for a lot of federal court judges. Yes. Now, it seemed to me that the respondent did not receive actual notice of the hearing. Yeah. You would say you could have court hearings, yes, at any time somebody accuses you of having a mental illness, yes, a mental disease. Right now, I would ask a federal court judge, yes, Judge, is there an obligation to protect the due process rights of those that have mental illnesses? Yes. Or could a court just say, we do not have to serve you when we decide that you have a mental illness? Ouch. Now, since I never had a mental health evaluation or the treatment if required, yeah, it seemed to me that the court thought that they could issue protection orders based upon the premise, yes, that if I don't do what the court says, yes, I don't have any rights as a citizen. Now, this is one of those federal questions. Yes. In a federal court, I would like to know what it would mean, yeah, to every individual that is mentally ill or mentally defective, yeah, to not have any civil rights at all. Now, there's a lot of them, and a lot of them get married, yes. A lot of them get divorced, yes. But it looks like Superior Court judges think that if you don't have the mental evaluation and the treatment if required, yes, we do not have to protect your civil rights in any way. Pope. Now, just looking at here, this complaint, yeah, in the United States District Court, the court that I was wanting to use, yeah. Complaint and request for injunction, and its statement of claim, yeah. Now, let's see here. Amount in controversy, the amount of plaintiff claims the defendant owes, yes, or the amount at stake is more than $75,000, yes. Not counting interest and costs of courts because, yeah. Now, statement of claim. Where did the events give rise to your claim? Yeah, it happened in Clallam County, yeah. The sheriff's department said that they attempted to serve me twice, yes. When I had been to the police department and I had asked them on August 20th of 2014, yeah, something I needed to know, yes. Now, I had been homeless the whole year and I thought for sure they did know me, yes. They had arrested me on May, yes, 27th of 2012. They did have my identity. They did know I was sleeping at a homeless shelter for a year, yeah. But for some reason, they could not figure out where I was at. Now, where did the events give rise to my claim? What date and approximate time did the events give rise to your claim? Well, on July 31st, yes, of 2015, the court decided to issue a protection order for 10 years, yes, where the petitioner, yes, did not petition the court. The petitioner did not acknowledge or give consent of the protection order, right? And then the respondent, yes, did not get actual notice of the court hearings. Yeah, didn't get actual notice. There was no notice, yes, or opportunity to be heard by the respondent, yes. There was no proof of service in the court file at least 5 judicial days before the court hearing. Then there was the forgery of the Superior Court Judge Brent Baston, yes, and the forgery of the ex officio Superior Court Clerk, yes, Christy Miller. Now, approximate time that the events gave rise to my claim, yeah, July 31st of 2015. Now, that would be the A and the B. Now, C. What are the facts underlying your claim? Yeah. What happened to you? Well, what happened was I went to Sequim, Washington, on August 15th of 2015 for a community meal. Yes, he did. The Episcopal Church at that time had a meal at approximately noon every Saturday. Yes. And I'd been going to it for a few years. Now, if I could get there, they would give you bus tickets to get back. Oh. Now, after the meal, I usually went to the Sequim Public Library. Yes. While at the Sequim Public Library, an individual approached me and said, "Are you Paul?" Yeah. I said I was. He said, "You're served." Oh. I said, "Really?" Yes. I said, "Well, who's witnessed it?" He informed me that all the library patrons in the Sequim Public Library had witnessed me being served the protection order and the weapon surrender form. Now, I thought for sure it was a wrongful execution of service, yes, because the library patrons had the right to use the library without witnessing the service of court process. Now, when I left the library, I walked to the Safeway. Yes, I was looking over the document known as the protection order and the weapon surrender form. A Sequim police officer, a female, approached me and said, "Did you get a copy of this?" I said I did. Asked me what I was going to do. I said I didn't know. Now, it turns out that after 4.5 years of informing law enforcement of my right to due process is being violated, they decided to arrest me multiple times for violating it. Yes. Now, irreparable injury. Yeah. Explain why monetary damage at a later date would not adequately compensate. Yes. For the injury you sustained, are sustaining, or will sustain as a result of events described. Or why such compensation could not be measured. For 8 years, 8 months, and approximately 13 days, I've been deprived of my parenting rights. Oh, see, there's this irreparable injury of not being able to father my sons. Oh, now, of course, there are some monetary compensations that I'm going to talk to you about. But the irreparable injury, yes, it is that I no longer will be able to father, yes, the 5 minors named because they're not minors anymore. Now, when you issue a protection, yeah, that's irreparable injury, no longer being able to parent. Now, as I said, I got a lot of questions. Oh, now, my relief, state briefly and precisely what damages or relief the plaintiff asked the court to order. Yes, I'm asking for the damages of all the known assets, yes, that any police officer in Port Angeles will ever have ownership of. I'm asking for every asset of every sheriff in the Clallam County Sheriff's Department. Yes, yes. I'm asking for the assets of the individual sheriffs in every county. Yes, yes. And I'm asking